And welcome back to Movies TV Man. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Man, on Instagram at Movies TV Mad 4, and on TikTok at Movies TV Mad 444. That's 4 4s by Movies TV Mad on TikTok. Have you got it? Good, good. Welcome to the live chat. We did have someone, but we didn't keep them. Must be my charming good looks. We're going to talk about the potential of Matt Reeves, the Batman, setting up two Robins in this movie and the huge, gigantic box office. The box office has been beyond the projections, which is amazing. Of course, we have to wait till next week, but it is looking good for the Batman, despite the hot takes by some propaganda merchants. We will get going as soon as people come into the live chat. That's if anyone does come into the live chat. Who knows? I might be here on my own. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Just sitting here talking to myself. You can watch it back later and have a good laugh that I'm talking to myself. It's funny, isn't it? It's a bit tragic, really, but that's life. So let's see if someone or anyone's going to come in to this live chat. No one thus far, but I'm waiting. I'm a patient person. Damn, it's cold tonight. So warm me up. Let's get this conversation started. There's one person in the chat, but will they stay? Please, when you come in, oh, no, they went away. They voted, they pressed like, then they went away. It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? So anyway, we'll keep this going to entertain the people who maybe are rewatching this. And so the Batman has reached 128 million opening domestic weekend. That's huge. And nearly just under 250 million globally. So that's a brilliant box office. And as I say, beyond projections, so it's brilliant. Harsh Kana, how much first weekend global? Right. Global is just under 250 million, Hush. So that's very, very good. So the box office is great. When people come into the chat, we can talk about the potential of two Robins being set up in Matt Reeves, the Batman. Plenty of videos to be getting along with. I did some videos today. Even did a Doctor Who video. I haven't done one of them for a while. I'm just getting warmed up. Welcome to the chat. Go and look at the poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? 2 votes so far. We've got a huge box office to celebrate. Let's get the conversation started. Or not. It's a slow start tonight, isn't it? For sure. A couple of people in the chat. We're discussing box offices. Is there two Robins being set up in the Batman? Harsh Kana, over my expectations. Yeah, it's very, very good. It's huge box office. Look, the film is being received very well mostly, and people have gone out and they've enjoyed the movie. Now we've got to see what happens in the second weekend, which is the pivotal weekend. That's where we'll really know where we're heading with the box office of this movie. People are coming in, coming out, shaking it all about. Get involved with the poll. 5 votes on the poll now. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? If you don't want to see that, what do you want to see? And why, most importantly of all? Get chatting. I don't bite. It's definitely going to be one of those evenings. So I reckon that they did set up 2 Robins. Not necessarily maybe Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, although that could be the case. But I think the guy who was with the thugs is one Robin. And I think the kid that he saw at the funeral and at the murder scene is the other Robin. Hisham Kishi, there are already talks about Bane being in the next Batman movie. You can thank me later. And who told you that? I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but there's a bunch of villains been set up in that movie. So, I mean, anything's possible, isn't it? We're just not going to know for a while, I think. There's certainly not going to be much confirmation while this movie's in cinemas. Welcome to the chat. Get voting. Get talking. It's one of those chats, I'm afraid, where people are coming in and out. We could have a slow start. Maybe we won't start at all. Put a comment down. See my reaction. You've seen what's going on the chat. You've seen the poll that I want you all to vote on if you can. Get involved. Smash a like on the video, please. 4 people in the chat. Let's go. Come on. Or are they more floaters? Will they leave? I don't know. It's fascinating tonight. It's not really kicking off tonight, is it? Android 118 XX. Watch the Batman and it was great. It certainly was. And we are discussing, did they set 2 Batmans up? Sorry, did they set up 2 Robins in this movie? And as you can see, the box office is huge. 128 million domestic, just under 250 million globally. It is huge. What do you think about that? Are you excited? 83% want to see the League of Shadows. No, 17%. I want to see Ra's al Ghul. I want to see the League of Shadows in the future of the Batman franchise because I don't think he was done very well. That element wasn't done very well in Batman Begins, and I want to see it done comic book accurate. And who better than Sir Matt Reeves to do that? So give us your full Android 118 XX. Let us know. What did you think of the Batman? You can talk spoilers. It's no problem. Let's get this chat moving. Because it's a bit of a ghost town right now. I think the League of Shadows could be very, very interesting. I think it wouldn't surprise me if some of these rogues gallery are already working for Ra's al Ghul. I don't think the Riddler was working alone. It's definitely one of those live chats, isn't it? It's just not getting warmed up tonight. It is crazy. And sometimes it goes like this, unfortunately. Android 118XX. Robert Pattinson was really good. He was so mysterious and had a huge presence, which I never felt in previous Batman films. Yes, his presence was very different. It was very broken. It was very haunting. It was very good. He was amazing. He's a great Batman, and he dominated the entire film, which I really liked as well. But there's still this undertone of people saying they didn't like the third act. And it's an absolute mystery to me. Some of their reasoning is it goes off on a tangent away from the first two acts, but you would expect that because they need a conclusion. A movie that certainly won't be for everyone, but it's a very good movie. It's got a lot of elements there. Noir, detective drama, thriller, drama, kind of a gangster movie in a way as well. Welcome to the chat. Take a look at the poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? Yes, I do. I like that it's plot heavy. Yes, it's very plot heavy. Hisham Kishi and Casey, and I really like that. Yes, it's there's things happening. It's moving along. There's things being set up. It's like a proper drama. This is the very essence of intriguing, interesting, mysterious storytelling. And it's very good because this is just the beginning. This is just the setup. And if this is the curtain raiser, what do we have to look forward to? Amazing stuff, I would predict. Smash a like. Definitely can see two Robins already been set up in this movie. Android 118XX. It didn't feel like a movie, though. It felt like a long episode. It left us with a feeling of more episodes to come. Well, that is what a connective tissue movie franchise really is. The first movie, then you got the second movie. I mean, it felt like a film to me, but yeah, it felt like a drama too. Hisham Kishi, do you think it had too much exposition? No, I didn't feel that at all. I felt it gave you the information it needed to give you. And the thing is as well, Hisham, when you're not going back to show the shooting of the Waynes, you do need some exposition. That's what happens when you miss that bit out. And obviously, we needed some information. We needed the information about, Martha being an Arkham and what happened to her and, the corruption within her family. And so you needed that. And so I don't think he had too much exposition, no. For me, I knew what I was going to get before I went to see the film. I knew it was going to be dark. I knew it was going to be gritty. The man warned us, noir drama. What did you think you were going to get? Die Hard? Hardeep Singh. Hi, Mike. Good evening, Hardeep. We're getting warmed up now. People are talking. The regulars are coming in. It's taken a while. But let's get the conversation going. Hardeep Singh, what did I miss? Nothing, because there hasn't been a big conversation. But basically, if you look at the chat, you can see a poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in Batman sequel? Please vote on that. And also, I noticed, I think they set up 2 Robins in the Batman as well. So that's basically what you've missed. But let's get this chat going, because it's been a very slow start tonight. And I'm getting bored. Come on, let's go, let's go. It's your show. The more you chat, the more I get going, and the more fun it is. Android 180XX would love to see the League of Shadows again. I don't know the comic accurate version, so can you let us know what were the things that were missing from Batman Begins? Well, I mean, I don't know the origins of the League of Shadows so well, but let me tell you the things I don't like. I don't think, for example, Ra's al Ghul was great, well played by Liam Neeson. It's a great twist that he actually is Ra's, but then they kill him off. That's a waste. You don't kill this character off. He plays a big part in the comics. Sometimes him and Batman are reluctant allies as well. There's a big history there. And, you know, Nolan sets it up, then kills the man off. It was pretty ridiculous. And then he just stuffs, you know, the daughter in the end movie. Not good enough. So that was disappointing. Ra's al Ghul should be there front and center. Ra's al Ghul shouldn't die. And considering he's got the flipping Lazarus pit, he should have come back to life. Harsh Khanna, please don't give spoilers. I have not seen the movie yet. Harsh Khanna, if you don't want spoilers, unfortunately, you're going to have to leave the chat because we have to talk about the movie eventually, I'm afraid. Otherwise, there's not going to be a conversation. There's nothing to talk about. If we don't talk about the film, there's nothing, because that's what everyone wants to talk about. So obviously, I respect you, but yeah, that's it. That's the best thing. I think you're going to find it very hard to go to a chat or a video where people ain't talking spoilers now. It's been out since Thursday, Wednesday in some territories. So that's what, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know, we're on the 4th day now. We can't stop talking about the film. Thank you, Harsha Khanna, no problem. Thank you very much, my friend. Come back when you've seen the movie. Because I know a lot of people are itching to talk about this film. So as a content creator, you need to talk about it. And there's a lot of things going on, like the 2 Robins set up. So, and I think you've all noticed who the 2 Robins are, right? Android 180XX, if there are 2 Robins, I wonder what Reeves is planning. I prefer one at a time. Jason Dodd first, Dick Grayson second. Well, it looks like the guy who was with the hoodlums at the start is one Robin, and the kid that Batman kept on staring at is the other Robin. So he set them up. It does not necessarily mean they're going to be introduced at the same time. But what if Batman adopts both of them and you've got this Cain and Abel situation? I actually think that would be a very interesting idea, personally. I didn't think, no, I don't want them to go Ra's al Ghul way. I just want them to go with Mr. Freeze. And if they want League of Shadow, then have to do it the right way, like Lazarus Pit, Italia, also Damian Wayne in the future. Yeah, but listen, we've seen a movie with multiple villains in it. So just because you have Mr. Freeze, it doesn't mean you can't have Ra's al Ghul in the League of Shadow. You can slowly introduce all of it. We can see what Matt's doing here. He's not just going to do one villain a movie. So just because you get Mr. Freeze, it doesn't mean you can't have a few others. So that's the thing. It's not just about one villain. We've got to get out of this thing where it's just one villain a movie. How many villains did we have in this movie? A Joker cameo, the Riddler, Penguin, Falcone. So it's all right to have more than one villain because we had it in this film. I would love an introduction to Ra's al Ghul. He really is an amazing character, done properly. and he's a challenge for Batman. Jesus is a goat. I love the Batman, and neither detective and horror elements were my favourite. Yes, they were great, and I just loved the whole detective thing, but also the fact that he's a broken detective, right? The worst detective stories are the ones where it's not personal to the detective and he's just there and he knows everything. But this guy is a broken detective, right? So it's personal. That's what's so good about this film. Please smash a like on the video. Check out the poll, please. If you've got your own theories about the Batman, please put them down there. Everyone has a right to have an opinion and have their theories. You know what I've got in my head right now? That music. Dun 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 dun. I'm vengeance. I fucking love that. I love saying it. It's so cool. I'm vengeance. The way Rob does it as well. What a movie. What an effing movie. What a start to a huge year for DC live action, man. It's so exciting. What happened to the boycotts? Any boycotters in the house? What happened to you? You were speaking big. You had the power to destroy DC and Warner Brothers. Better luck with Black Adam. Hisham Keshi, naturally, I would want to see Scarecrow in the sequel. Yeah, this is the thing. Everyone's got a pick. He can't obviously do every single one. Jesus is a goat. Yes, the soundtrack is amazing. Yeah, fucking amazing. I've got it in my head now. I can't help it. Dun, dun, dun. Android 118XX. Love the Cain and Abel idea between the two Robins. Yeah, it's genius and getting me excited. Hopefully Matt does something like this. Yeah, well, you see, he's obviously hinting towards two Robins here, right? So that's perfect. He adopts these two kind of orphans. One's older than the other. I would say the guy with the hoodlums is probably Jason, or the Jason character. He may not necessarily call him Jason Todd, right? But, and then they like kind of, there's this competitiveness and one bit goes down one line. So you can have this Cain and Abel situation with Jason and Dick Grayson. It will be very clever. And then he builds up the Bat family. And then we can cast Zendaya as Batgirl. Batman, need the Court of Owls and Talons in next one. Yeah, it's interesting because everyone's got these like predictions, like I have and we all have. He obviously he can't do them all, so it'll be interesting what he uses. I think they know now that everyone wants the Court of Owls. I definitely think Hush is a reality though. Hardip Singh, I think Harvey Dent is going to show up in the sequel because Gil Coulson, DA, died. Yes, a good point. And I think they also go with Court of Owl in future. Falcone said this is a big, so much big than Batman thinks before die. Yes, that's a great point. Hisham Kishi, Scarecrow could shine a light on what Bruce is scared of the most. Then he will overcome this fear towards the end of the film. Android 118XX, one of them becomes Red Hood, the one with the hooligans. Maybe, yeah. Dr. Ashi Zaka, 245 million opening worldwide. I said it'll cross 200 million. That's effing huge. Absolutely. It's fantastic, my friend. And well done to everyone who supported the movie. Now I was going to say something. Yeah. This is another theory, right? My first theory was that the overarching story is basically that Ra's al Ghul is behind what Riddler did, right? But what if the Court of Owls empowered Riddler to do what he did? What if the Riddler is working for the Court of Owls? What do you think? I like all this. This is fun, isn't it? Yeah, there's definitely an overarching plot. He keeps on saying that he wasn't focusing on the next movie or setting it up. He's set up so much in this film. I mean, really, if you look at the film deeply, I've only seen the thing twice, as you all know. But, you know, even by seeing it twice, I can tell there's so much setup in this film. Android 118 XX, or perhaps the Riddler, is just crazy. No, I don't think so. But obviously you're entitled to that opinion. Jesus is a goat. Did the Batman remind you of the movie Seven? It didn't remind me of the movie Seven. There were elements of that movie there. Yeah, Christian Cartier. I would love to see the Arkham show set up Hugo Strange. You see, Hugo Strange really is something. We may do a poll about him tomorrow, because I think he was, and actually he was awesome in Gotham, the Gotham series. Hisham Kissy. I'm not a fan of that because that kind of reminds me of Spectre from James Bond, lol. Well, you could say that about any story, couldn't you? Oh, we better not do that because it's that. But just the Court of Owls are kind of like Spectre in a way. There's an overarching story here for sure. Batman, but the court is a big deal. Maybe they are saving it for the last. Maybe. But there's an overarching plot here for sure. That isn't a standalone movie. It's a bit like A New Hope. It kind of looks like a standalone, but he was setting things up, and he set things up. There's definitely an overarching conspiracy. Someone is pulling the strings. Someone was pulling Falcone's strings as well. Probably the Court of Owls. Dr. Zayzaka, let the Court of Owls and Mr. Freeze be the sequel's villains, with the Joker still operating in the shadows as a puppet master, with him coming to full-blown scare mode in the third movie. Imagine if you got a movie where the Joker and Batman actually join forces to stop the Court of Owls. Android 118 XX. If the Batman sequel is called Batman Arkham, I'll get goosebumps. Yeah, that's one of my predictions, actually. I have no idea what he's planning. But, as I say, if you look deeply in the film, the man has set up so much. There is no doubt about that. Maybe it's the storyteller and writer within me. But a Batman Arkham movie, kind of, I think, is what Ben Affleck was planning as well. There was elements of the Batman by Ben Affleck set in Arkham. Batman, so much potential remaining, yeah, because he's a clever guy. There's lots of setup, but there's so much stuff to be getting on with in the actual film. It's not all set up, of course, but it's there. It's obvious. He set things up. Well, we had a slow start tonight, but we're getting the conversation going, which makes me very, very happy. Dr. Zayazaka, it should be Batman Arkham, a full-blown horror movie. That would be awesome. Yeah, Batman in with all the people he's put away. Android 118 XX, did Batman actually inject himself with venom? I think so. Some people are saying it's just adrenaline, but I don't think so. It was all done on purpose. It's another setup. Jesus is a goat. I have to be honest, Pattinson as Batman hasn't grown on me yet. That's fair enough. Hisham Kissy, someone said that when Batman cuts through the electric cable and falls into the water, he gets baptized and reborn. That is fucking beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, that's a great point. I never saw it like that, but that's what pretty much happens. He gets reborn and he goes from vengeance to the Batman. It's a shame he didn't actually say. If someone should have come up to him at the end of the film and said, hey, vengeance, and he goes, I'm not vengeance. I'm the Batman. Android 108 XX. So many clever setups in the movie, for sure. It's a very, look, we knew from the beginning this was a very clever man making this film. And what's an advantage to this man is he knows the source material so well. He knows this character. And so, look, it's just sensational that he's successful, that he's doing well, that he's given us a great movie, a great first act. Wow, so much meaning. Never thought of that. Yeah, he cuts himself off, right? He lands in the water and he's reborn into Batman. That's amazing. Fucking hell. And I never thought of that. So that's amazing. Hardeep Singh, my theory, and I think I am right. I think Gotham PD series tells us why Joker ends up in Arkham, because he's going to be a villain in that series. Penguin show may be set villain for sequel. Yeah, I don't think Penguin will ever be the main villain, but he's a gangster and he's vying for power, and that's his story. I don't think you're getting a Penguin. I mean, the Penguin series is kind of the setup for the character. I think it's set in year 2. But yeah, I can't see the Penguin ever being the main villain. I mean, it's an amazing premise to put Colin Farrell in that bodysuit. I mean, it's so interesting. I mean, if you think about it, he could have actually cast someone who looked like him, like he wanted, but he went that way. It's a very interesting way to go at it. And it certainly works. It definitely works for me. This is now the Batman cinematic universe. Well, it's not, because there's HBO Max stuff, but basically this is the Matt Reeves Batman extended universe. Android. So what should we call it? Hang on. The BEU. Android 118 XX. I wonder how much this Batman will evolve in the sequel. What changes do you expect to see from this Batman in the sequel after the baptism? Well, we'll see a more comic-accurate Batmobile, a more comic-accurate suit. He will be Bruce Wayne a lot more. He will embrace the Bruce Wayne persona of being charitable and helping. I also think away from that, we are looking at this flood that will have different stories for different people in Gotham. It's affected people. It could have killed someone's husband, someone's sister, someone's wife, someone's boyfriend. Hardeep Singh, I think Penguin series end with where he teams up with other villain and then they fight Batman in sequel. I mean, that's a possibility. It certainly is, but I just don't see the Penguin ever being a main villain. He'll just be there. He'll be there and he'll have an interesting little relationship with Batman. He shouldn't kiss you. At first, I thought that this version of Bruce is emotionless. But when Alfred almost dies and we see a sobbing Bruce Wayne, he sort of wakes up his dormant emotions. Yeah, he's a bit of a, I don't know, he's lost his ability for empathy because of what's happened to him. This is what would happen if you saw your parents killed in front of you. So some of the critics say he doesn't make jokes and stuff like that. They're crazy. Dr. Zayzaka, if the Court of Owls are introduced, it should be like the sequence in Eyes Wide Shut, with just pure wide-eyed knuckled horror with Gotham's ancient elite. Well, I think the Court of Owls is something, I think they're going to be introduced slowly. So they're going to be in the background, I think. But he'll definitely be very comic book accurate, and there's no better person than Matt Reeves to do the Court of Owls. So this is exciting. And who's seen, changing the subject, the League of Super Pets trailer? It looks a lot of fun. Keanu Reeves is actually playing Batman. Keanu Reeves would actually be an awesome, older, live-action Batman. Jesus is GOAT. The theatre I went to showed teaser previews for every DC movie this year. That's right, yes. And it's an awesome little reel, isn't it? Very exciting year for DC fans. We're getting spoilt this year, and I wish I could see the Flash movie now. I really do. And Aquaman, Black Adam. I'm so pumped for Black Adam because I think that film's got a lot of potential. Don't forget to check out my poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? Dr. Zayzaka, who would you cast as Ra's al Ghul? Actually, Keanu Reeves. Or maybe he's a bit too old for him. Come on, everyone, let me know. Who would you cast as Ra's al Ghul? I've given you my pick, Keanu Reeves. Christian Cartier. Who are you most anticipated villains in the sequel? Well, I'd love to see Ra's al Ghul. I think everyone wants to see Hash, the Court of Owls. But in terms of what's been set up, I'm excited to see what happens next with the villains we've seen in this film. I think this Bruce is first version of Bruce who shows so much emotion. I mean, come on, look at his eye in the cow in the cave. And I think the emotion that Bruce showing in the mask is real, not without. Hisham Kishi, yeah, people expect Bruce to joke around similar to how Black Widow stabs Tony Stark in the back in Civil War and acts like nothing happened in the following movies. Yeah, we're not dealing with that here. This is a different mentality, a different filmmaker. He's a storyteller and he's writing a story that makes sense and that's intertwining. And importantly, opposite to the MCU, storytelling with consequences. Hisham Kishi, it's so fun. Yep. I think you're talking about Super Pets. Jesus is Go. Yeah, I'm definitely watching Super Pets. The trailer is hilarious. Yeah. I like the look of that. As I say, Keanu Reeves as Batman's kind of interesting to me. Android 118XX. There's a scene they left out in the movie from the first Batman teaser where we see a shot of Batman on his eye almost tearing up, which was powerful, and I wish they didn't leave that out. Yeah, I do hate when you see bits in trailers that you don't see in the films. It's very bad. It happens a lot. It happened in Superman Returns a hell of a lot. I actually think it's quite unprofessional. I think that happened with Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad as well. Oh, yeah. Smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? Let me know. 13 votes so far. Dr. Jayazaki Reeves as Al Ghul will be interesting. He's also philosophical, but what if he comes as Constantine because he's interested to reprise it? All right. Yeah, well. I don't think there's any chance of Keanu Reeves being in the Reeves-verse, the Matt Reeves-verse, unless they're related with the names and everything. Jesus is Go. How about that new Batmobile? Awesome, right? I love that Batmobile. It's fast. It's got that beautiful blue flame. Hardip Singh, Matt Reeves just gets it. Robert Pattinson understands comic book accurate Batman. And for people who want to see Batman smile, I really don't understand them. Marvel really mad people, stupid, no hate. Android 118XX. What about Jackie Chan playing Ra's al Ghul? Well, it's a good idea. I don't think Matt will go down that direction, no. Hisham Kissy, the close-ups of Batman's cowl were amazing. They were. The focus on the eye, the performance of the eye acting, brilliant. Red Panda, good evening. Red Panda, I just realised when Batman fell into the water, it was like it was baptised and started a new life of hope and not vengeance. Exactly is what we were just discussing, Red Panda. And it's a great take, isn't it? I didn't get it at first when he cut himself loose. I thought, why would he do that? But it's a great moment in the film. That's the whole idea of the film. He goes from vengeance to Batman, from no hope to hope. It's beautiful because actually Batman is a more hopeful hero in the comics than people in the live action adaptations give him credit for. And now he's embraced hope in this movie. Again, Matt Reeves gets it. He's Shan Kissy because he didn't want people to get electrocuted. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't get it. I must have switched off or something. But, yeah. But it's a great moment anyway. Android 118 XX. Hiroki Sanda will be really cool as Ra's al Ghul. I'm sure he would be, but I've never heard of him. Hardeep Singh, the Batman worldwide box office coming almost 250 mil for right now. Let's see. Yes, very good. I think that will be the final number, but yes, it's very good. Dr. Zayzaka, Ray Sing-ryung is a brilliant South Korean actor who made a mark in the Netflix series Kingdom. You should check it out. Who can be a great Ra's al Ghul? Oh well, I will check it out just to see if that's a cool thing. Android 118 XX. If you see a picture, you instantly will recognize him. Oh, I'm sure I will, for sure. Hisham Kishi, Matt Reeves said that he's terrified of Hideo Kojima's review of the movie. Did he review it? I have no idea. Jesus is a goat. Something in the way. I think Warner Brothers will react very quickly after this box office, but it's also a difficult period because they're waiting for the merger. So maybe they'll have to wait until any things are announced. Jesus is a goat. Nirvana, I know. Android 118 XX. Do you prefer an Asian dude to play Ra's al Ghul? Well, what is he in the comics? Is he Asian? What is he? But I have no problem with him being Asian. You see, they tried a little misdirect in Batman Begins. We thought Ra's was actually an Asian, played by an Asian actor, but then it ended up being Liam Neeson. It was actually quite clever. You wouldn't get away with doing that today, though. Dr. Zayzaka, they should greenlit the sequel soon. Hisham Kissy, Mick, did you recognise the actor playing the veteran detective cop in the movie? He's a famous British actor. No, I didn't. Who is he? What's his name? He's Asian in the comics. Fair enough, then. So he can be Asian in live action as well, can't he? Really cool. Hmm. Dun 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 dun. That is actually Pattinson's Batman theme. It's a very interesting. It's kind of a horror movie theme. Thinking what Keaton's theme is and what Bale's theme is. And they're both quite uplifting, but this one's a bit scary. I mean, Bale's is like dan, dan, dan. Dr. Zayzaka, if Bruce Lee was alive, he'd be perfect for the role. Yeah, I think Matt would definitely give him the role if he could. Even if the late Brandon Lee was alive. Android 118 XX, Max said he'll release a few scenes from the Batman that he left out, including Joker. Yep, that's true. Let's see when that happens. Very soon. Probably just before next weekend to get the hype up again. Harding Singh, I just see some people mad about Batman movie because they think movies show white people like bad guy and only black guy good. By the way, I am India, so I'm brown. Some people just have their agenda. His name is Con O'Neill. Oh, right. I've not heard of him, Hisham Kishi. About that stuff, about what you just said, Hardeep Singh. It's interesting because most of the white characters in the film are villains, and there are two white characters, white men who are good. That's Alfred and Batman, aka Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I mean, is there any people of color who are bad in the movie? So I noticed it, but it doesn't bother me. I understand what's going on. This is the era that we live in, and this kind of messaging is happening then. You either, if you don't like that kind of thing, you can't watch it. I just ignore it. It's certainly there. You can't ignore that it's there, but it's not an issue for me. Patman, I rode the bike back home from the theatre singing that theme. It is stuck in my head. Yeah, mine too. I can't get rid of it. Dun 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 dun. Oh my God! I'm not going to even talk about it. Bloody football score. Forget it. I don't want to talk about it. Dr. Zizaka. But by the way, the tone of this movie also reminds me of Crow, which had his son Brandon Lee. The Crow is an amazing film. I love it. They should never touch that film. They were going to do a reboot with Jason Momoa. No, no, no. It's perfect. And to lose Brandon in the production and pull it off like that, it was amazing. I must see that film again. It is sensational. Hisham Kishi, I watched the first episode of Batman the Animated Series last night and noticed that there are a lot of parallels with the Batman. Very true, like the Vengeance thing, especially with the Catwoman's character. Yeah, look, that's a classic. That's a classic. And they're actually doing a sequel to this. Matt Reeves, J.J. Abrams, and Bruce Timm. Very exciting. They're doing a sequel to that animated series. Wow. Android 118 XX, WB releasing the Batman on HBO Max after a month after its release, which in my opinion will affect its box office record and is stupid. No, Android 118 XX, it's not going to affect anything because it will, when it goes to HBO Max, it will probably be pulled from theatres. I don't believe after a month, after what, 45 days, right, it's going to affect it. That, you know, that's where you make your real money. Now, it's different for Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, Sony has still got it there, but I don't think it's going to affect it because by then they would have made their money. Then they're going to go to HBO Max and they're going to make so much money on the subscriptions for people to watch the Batman. It's a great strategy. Hardeep Singh, I like the Batman theme. What I like the emotional slow part most, I think that's Bruce Wayne theme. Very emotional. Reminded me of Mask of the Phantasm. Really shows Bruce's vulnerability. Yeah, I agree. It's very good. It's very clever. You see a character with mixed emotions. You know, he's a mess, as you would be. As you would be. That's what's great about the movie. Jesus is a goat. Hey, so good hearing some talk on the Batman. I'm gone for the day. Peace. Peace out, Jesus is a goat. Smash a like on the video before you leave if you haven't already. Hisham Kishi, some of the musical pieces in the film reminded me of Elfman's score in Batman Returns. Apparently Returns is Robert Pattinson's favourite Batman movie. And you see, this is why me and Rob are on the same wavelength, because Batman Returns is one of my favourites as well. I'm not sure if I got the similarities in the music, but yeah, Rob's cool, isn't he? Rob gets it. Batman Returns is a great fucking movie. Inessa, Bezoka, Vaughan Rent. Sorry, I only understand English. Oh, I understand Greek Cypriot, but I can't really read it. So you've lost me there. You could be saying anything to me and I wouldn't understand the word you're saying, which is unfortunate. I took the day off when we were doing foreign languages. John, can't wait to see Pierce Brosnan in Black Adam. Yes! Dr. Fate. It's going to be awesome. What casting? Dr. Zayazaka. Actually, Michael Giacchino's score is a tribute to Shirley Walker's theme for the animated series. Didn't know that. How awesome is that? That is brilliant, isn't it? That is absolutely brilliant. Thank you for that, Dr. Zayazaka, because I didn't know that. We can educate each other, you see. Please smash a like on the video. If you like me, show that you like me. Andrew 180XX, Love Batman Returns was part of my childhood, and I remember getting scared every time and couldn't sleep properly. It's a great movie. And who's the guy? Who's the famous actor? Oh, my God. Who was in that film? Oh, shit. One of the greatest actors of all time. Dr. Zayazaka, Dr. Fate will be awesome. Yeah, I loved him in Smallville, by the way. I thought they did a great job in Smallville. It's a great idea to put him in here. John, did you enjoy 007 GoldenEye? Yes, that's a great movie. Hisham Kishi, Christopher Walken. Imagine having the legend Christopher Walken in a Batman movie, right? And I think he was playing an original character, not one from the comics, Max Schreck. Brilliant, brilliant. I mean, it's got a great cast, that movie. DeVito, Walken, Pfeiffer, as well as Keaton. It's nuts. It's an amazing film. I don't see how anyone can hate that film. It's amazing. Christopher Walken, fucking legend. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's a shame. It's a shame people have to get old, isn't it? What a legend. Legend. First time I saw him was in A View to a Kill, James Bond. Amazing. He's always been amazing. Do you remember when Bond movies had good villains? Hardeep Singh, Batman Returns is my favourite also. I think they changed the climax of the movie because it's too dark. Penguin literally going to kill children, but then they changed with Penguin with Rocket. I liked. It was an awesome movie. Great movie. I remember the marketing, and I went to see it with my girlfriend's mum. And I kept on saying when we saw the marketing in the trailer, I got to see this film. But WB wouldn't let Tim do another movie because they wanted to sell toys at McDonald's. What a shame. A big mistake to let him go. Although I do like Batman Forever, but Burton's third movie would have been better. Hisham Kishi, did you know that the actor who played Max Schreck's son in the film went on to play Leatherface in one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies? I didn't know that. Android 118 XX, Christopher Walken is intimidating. Perfect cast choice for Batman. Yeah, absolutely. Christopher Walken actually would have been an interesting Batman. Scott Edwards, I wish we had seen a Smallville movie with the Justice League. Yeah, that would have been awesome, Scott. But Scott Edwards, what's up? Hello, Scott. I missed that one. But you know what? We did get a fair shake of their Justice League, which was pretty cool. But who knows what the future holds? Smallville did everything before anyone else. Think about that for a minute. Ben Pottimeyer, good evening. I only seen Barry Keoghan to Dunkirk. They usually get well-named actors, but we'll have to see his performance more. What's your thoughts on him in the short time we saw him and casting? Yeah, it's difficult to judge him. I didn't like his laugh, but he can work on it. I like the dialogue Matt Reeves gave him, but I'm not sure about him. I'm not even sure if he's the main Joker or if he's a version of the Joker or even a copycat of the Joker. I'm not quite sure yet that he's the definitive Joker for Matt Reeves. We'll have to wait and see. And you just can't judge the guy on that. It's just not fair. We barely see him. John, have you seen Christopher Walken in Fatboy Slim music video? I haven't, no. I have seen Christopher Walken in a lot of films, though. Scott Edwards, I love all versions of Justice League comics, animated DCEU, Smallville, and Arrowverse. Definitely. Android 118 XX, Smallville was OG. WB needs to take notes when making next Superman movie. Smallville was iconic. One of my favorite DC extended universes. I think they probably did it the best. All the characters they had, and actually a very accurate comic book adaptation of Clark as a character. But the show achieved so many things. Amazing show. Best live action Lex Luthor. It was amazing. Scott Edwards, did you like lineup they went with for Arrow versus Justice League? It's okay. I could live without Batwoman. There's some characters in there I just don't care about. And Smallville even did Cyborg for their Justice League. Henrik movies mad. I saw Batman on Friday. It was amazing. Felt like a comic book on the big screen. So good. I couldn't agree more, Henrik. It's an amazing film, an amazing achievement. It sets up so much. The potential is limitless. Matt Reeves has proven what I already knew about him. And he's all ours, baby. He ain't going to Marvel. They ain't having him. We're lucky that Reeves is a Batman fan. Scott Edwards, the best out of them are Flash, Superman, Black Lightning, and White Canary. The Flash and Green Arrow were the best of that Justice League, but obviously there's no Green Arrow. Scott Edwards, Supergirl is okay. I like the fact that Superman and Supergirl had we saw them as cousins together. John, how has the Lex actor from Smallville not been cast in the where are we? In live action DCEU movie? Look, it's ridiculous. He's a perfect Lex. He looks amazing bald. He's a great actor. I don't know. Maybe we'll see him in the Flash movie. All we can do is hope for the best. Dr. Zayzaka, have to go now. Looking forward to the future. Peace out. Peace out, my friend. Hardip Singh, Christopher Walken threw Selena Cole out the window. My fave scene. Also, Penguin still the show. So many iconic dialogues. Tragic irony. OR poetic justice. Scott Edwards, sorry, but Arrowverse is my favorite DC continuity. It's not. It's one of my. It's not. It started off so well for me, Scott, but it's not for me. No, Smallville is, for me personally, so far superior. The storytelling, the character development, people who weren't politically motivated and were writing a great story and cared about what they were doing. But I respect the fact that it's your favourite continuity, but it isn't mine. Hisham Kishi, how would they pull off Mr. Freeze in a Batman sequel? Matt Reeves' movie is so grounded. What is he going to attack Bruce Wayne with? Water guns? Well, listen, just because it's grounded, it doesn't mean Mr. Freeze can't be Mr. Freeze. The setup for the character via his wife is a grounded story. And you just go from there. So it's all there. But I don't think Matt Reeves means everything has to be 100% grounded. So he's already said that he's interested in doing him. So, Scott Edwards, you like the Arrowverse crossovers though? Some of them I didn't. And some of the episodes in those crossovers are actually fillers. But there's a lot of good stuff there, for sure. The thing is with Arrowverse, it's not always perfect. But when it's good, it's really good. The problem is, for me, it started off so good. First 2 seasons of Arrow, first 2 seasons of The Flash, and then the quality went down very quickly, and that's a shame. And Smallville really had quality all the way through it. They never gave up. And I think that's the distinctive difference between Smallville and Arrowverse. And Arrowverse is so many shows, and Smallville did it with one show. That's a sensational achievement with a pre-Superman story. It's amazing. It's a great achievement. Smallville is the Don. It's as simple as that. Smallville is the Godfather. 14 people in the chat. I expect you've all smashed like. Please check out my poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? At the moment, 56 yes, 44 no. 18 votes. Scott Edwards, Smallville season 8 and 9 were really good without Lana and Lex. Yeah, I mean, losing Lex and Lionel was a harsh blow, and you did miss them. But I think 8 and 9 did bring some originality to the show for sure. I wouldn't say they're my favourite seasons, but it was okay for sure still. 10 seasons, I mean, that's a long run. Hisham Kissy, what are the things that keeps The Dark Knight from being an amazing movie in your opinion? The Dark Knight is an amazing movie. One of the things, I just don't feel I see enough of Batman, enough of Bruce Wayne. I don't feel that the Batman character is central to the plot enough until the end bit, when he basically takes the rap for what Two-Face does. That's one of the things that bothers me about the film. Android 118 XX. People in the theatre found some Batman moments funny. I think there were purposely some funny moments. Hardip Singh, Smallville is the best DC show ever. I think the only shows that come close is Flash first 2 seasons of Arrow. True. I think Peacemaker is much superior than Arrowverse. Look, Peacemaker is really, really good. Ben Pottimer, did you notice in Batman the 2 cars? One had a bowl, maybe hinting to Court of Owls, very well spotted. The second had a little guy, looked like Mad Hatter, and had Mad written on it. Interesting. He's really looking to set up a lot of things, isn't he? Henrik, John, I want John Campion to play Two-Face, Grace Randolph to play Harley Quinn. Who are your choices? Harley Quinn? Well, I mean, I think, what's her name? Forgot her name now. What's that bloody name? Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Two-Face, I mean, whew. Anyone but Pedro Pascal. Scott Edwards, Arrowverse Season 2 is the best standalone Arrowverse season. It's amazing. Hardip Singh, The Dark Knight is best movie. The Batman is best Batman movie. I think my answer sums up everything. Ben Pottimeyer, Smallville 8 is my least favourite season. That's the first season without original creator and Lex. Yeah, which was an issue for me. But considering they had no Lex and they lost the original showrunners, I think the Doomsday storyline was okay and pretty solid. Not my favourite season by any means. Henrik, did you see the Hush Easter egg in the Batman? I certainly did, Henrik. Ben Pottimeyer, John Hamm, Two-Face. Interesting. John seems to get a fan cast for everything, doesn't he? I remember the days people wanted him to be Superman. Scott Edwards, biggest problem with Wonder Woman 84, in your opinion? Oh, where do I start? Well, they brought back Steve Trevor in the wrong way. It's so problematic. All she had to do was wish for him and he'd be there. But no, he had to be inside another geezer's body because she wanted to do a quantum leap Easter egg thing. Ridiculous. Hisham Kishi, was Riddler's apartment right next to Falcone's hangout place? I'm not sure. You've got me there. I'm not one for details like that. You have to tell me. Hisham Kishi, or was Riddler just using the apartment as a vantage point? I think that's probably more than likely. Riddler was probably working for Falcone. Falcone was probably working for the Court of Owls. Ben Pottimer, I noticed that too, Hisham. Well, you're better than me. I didn't notice that. Wow, well spotted. Hardip Singh, I think John Campion and Grace Randolph is going to nail as Two-Face. I think they are literally real Two-Faces, hypocrites in the real life. Grace is actually going to win an Oscar. She'll never win an Oscar. Scott Edwards, Wonder Woman 84 didn't even feel like a superhero movie. Yeah, I'm afraid the woman doesn't understand Wonder Woman, and it proves that Zack Snyder was the one we should credit for the first Wonder Woman film. Batman, he had his equipments there. Yeah. Smash a like on the video if you haven't already. John, what are your thoughts on the Riddler and the Penguin from Gotham TV show? Brilliant. And they had a great partnership, didn't they? I love those two. I think they're great versions of those characters. So, yeah, brilliant. They're awesome. Ben Pottimeyer loved Riddler and Penguin in Gotham. Oh yeah, they were great. I think they had a kind of a thing there, weren't they? A bit of an attraction. Scott Edwards, all the other DC solo movies had a distinct formula that worked amazingly. Wonder Woman 84 didn't follow it. No. Patty Jenkins I don't know. I don't know what happened to that film. It's a big shame. I don't want her doing any other Wonder Woman movies, and I can't believe they're allowing her to. Discovery must stop that immediately. Henrik, Harding Singh, you got it, friend. Batman, Riddler's love arc was so good in the Gotham series. It was. Harding Singh, I don't think Riddler works for Falcone because he's the one who killed Falcone in the end. Maybe to silence him. Maybe he just went against his bot. Who knows? But Falcone works for Court of Owls is a good theory. Thank you, Hardip Singh. Ishan Kishi, one nitpick I have with the Batman is how they just left the Penguin to roam alongside the cops. He almost shoots Falcone towards the end, and the cops don't do anything to stop it. Almost. Just almost. Henrik, did John Campbell play Riddler in Gotham show? Never watched it. Nope. The only thing John Campbell plays with is himself. Scott Edwards, will we get Robin in Reeves' universe? Well, I did discuss that earlier on, Scott, and I'll go through it again. There's a character at the beginning with the hoodlums who doesn't really seem to be embracing the bad guy world. I think he may be Jason Todd. And the little boy that Batman can't stop staring at, whose father was murdered, I think he's the other Robin. So I think they actually set up two Robins in that movie, which the answer to your question is, Scott, yeah, definitely. And we're getting a Robin Dick Grayson in the Batgirl movie in the DCEU. So it's all very exciting. Ben Pottimeyer, do you think they hint at Robin with the gangster who stopped the guy from shooting Batman? That guy plays Tim Drake on Titans. Yeah, he's one of the Robins for sure. And the other one was the kid. John, did they change the Catwoman actress in Gotham TV show? It was disgusting. So my friend Cameron Bicanova was playing Selena wonderfully for every season. But because they time jumped, they decided to change the actress. It was annoying. There was big controversy on social media about it. And I felt so bad for her because she had to pretend she was happy for it. I can tell you she was not happy about that. So they did change her, yeah. And I wasn't happy because Cam was so good in that role. So good. She might even be my favourite Selena Kyle. That's how good she is. Hishan Kishi, Robin would definitely work in a Batman sequel, but I'm worried that we won't get a lot of Batman as a result. No, I don't think Matt Reeves would never do that. Never. Scorpion, who do you want to see to be the main antagonist in the next movie? I think we may have a few main antagonists in the next movie. It could be Hush. Hard to say. By the way, Gotham Show is free. Penguin and Riddler. Hang on, how do you sing? By the way, Gotham Show is free. Penguin and Riddler and also Alfred Pennyworth interpretation is so good in that show. But I don't like the finale season. And goddamn, that Batsuit is so bad in the end. Yeah, I think, listen, we're lucky they even let us see Batman. But I thought it was cool that we saw him. But yeah, I don't think it was the best Batman costume. I don't think it was the worst one either. Henrik, do you think we can get a sequel to the Batman in 2024? Hoping we don't have to wait too long. He's told us, or one of the producers has told us, that we won't have to wait 5 years. It'll be under 5 years. So I'm guessing 4 years, 3 years, maybe 3 years. So probably 2025, I think, personally, but we'll see. Scott Edwards, they mentioned Bloodhaven. That's exactly where Catwoman was going at the end. Yes, Selena. So, yes, interesting. More setups, you see. More setups that you can throw a cat at. It's amazing. I mean, I think Matt Reeves has put more setups in that movie than Faith does in the MCU. He's got it all mapped out, this guy. He's got everything mapped out in his head. Henrik, Nightwing, their Bloodhaven. Exactly, Henrik, yes. So, maybe Robin wasn't there and maybe he's in Bloodhaven. Dick Grayson, maybe he's in Bloodhaven. And maybe she comes back with him. Yeah? In the second movie. What do you think? I'm good, aren't I? Scott Edwards setting up Nightwing. Exactly, Scott. Outman Higgo. Hey, movies, TV man, let's talk Flash. Let's Flash talk. Go for it. Hardeep Singh, Dick Grayson setup coming. Matt Reeves is go. Definitely, yeah, he's a go. He's got it, look. You don't believe all that chat. I'm not thinking about next chapter. This guy's got about 600 chapters planned out already. Yes, and Matt Reeves is absolutely the GOAT. We've never had anyone like him in DC before. It's sensational. Scott Edwards, Penguin is poised to take over crime in Gotham. Yep. Looking forward to the first spin-off on HBO Max, which will be an original Penguin movie set or series set actually in year 2, I think. John, is it Robin or Nightwing in the Batgirl movie? I think it's Robin. I think it's Robin at that point. But apparently they are thinking of doing Nightwing as well going forward in the future. Scott Edwards, Flash is back this week. It is Scott. Hishan Kishi, I love the fact that we see Dawn towards the end and Batman's completely fine with it. Unlike in the first half of the film, with everything is dark and gloomy. That's the old idea, isn't it? Things have lightened up a bit and they will continue to do so. And maybe that will change the tone of the next movie. This is what people don't understand. People don't understand the evolution of storytelling. Matt Reeves does. Isn't it interesting, though? Skydwoods, will you watch it? Yes. And I'll stop watching it if it annoys me. Patman, how many spin-offs are coming? Penguin, Gotham PD, and Arkham Asylum. I think Arkham Asylum is part of Gotham PD. So 2 at the moment. Abahika, we know the Flash movie will open the DC multiverse. How do you think this will affect the future of DC and how will it operate? Right. Basically, what's going to happen is all the Earths in the multiverse will become one Earth. So it's going to happen to unite everything. It's going to become one franchise. So all the Earths will become one Earth. So basically, everything will be remembered and nothing will be forgotten. But it's like the franchise is also starting again. Henrik, under this is a picture of John Campbell, our real goat. Ha ha ha. Should I watch it? No, I will. I will stay here. Android 118 XX. The Batmobile introduction was amazing. It gave me the feeling of burning in boiling water that had a burnt rod to it. Yeah, definitely. That was amazing, wasn't it? It was so cool. Scott Edwards, the next villain is supposed to be horror and supernatural based. Are we talking about the Flash, Scott? I'm assuming we are. How horror? The CW doing horror? I don't think so. Ben Pottimeyer, if they get a Robin for Michael Keaton's Batman, they are. Batgirl, wouldn't it be the actor who played him in the 90s in Batman Forever? No, it won't be. Because basically, Michael Keaton is the OG Batman. Basically, Val Kilmer and George Clooney are not part of the canon. And anything that happened in Forever and Batman and Robin is not part of what they're doing in the DCEU going forward. Scott Edwards, yes. I think anything horror-based on the CW will be a bit like what was horror-based in the Scooby-Doo animated series. Scott Edwards, probably a Cobalt Blue. Oh, Cobalt Blue. Interesting. $13 people in the chat, 11 likes. If you haven't smashed the like yet and you like what you're seeing tonight, please smash a like. Look at my poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? 57% yes. No, 43%. John, Zoom was a great villain in the Flash season 2. I loved him. Great actor, by the way. And then we went downhill from season 3, really, didn't we? Scott Edwards, The Flash just has a special place in my head as a show. I like The Flash, but I don't think it's the great show that it was in the early days, that's for sure. Ben Pottimeyer, with Alfred is the same actor in Keaton to kill Batman, so they are the same Batman. Ben Pottimeyer, well, Alfred is the same actor in Keaton to Kilmer, Batman, so they are the same. No, well, it doesn't really matter. As far as, listen, what I'm saying to you is, as far as Warner Brothers and Walter Hamada and all them are concerned, Ben, that Batman Forever and Batman and Robin never happened. They don't exist. All that exists is Batman 89 and Batman Returns. That's it. The other movies do not exist. Scott Edwards, loved the bond between Barry and Team Flash. Hisham Kissy, damn 4 Batman movies in 1 year. Are Warner Brothers trying to build an entire kingdom with dollar bills? I think so, yeah. Scott Edwards, my heart, I mean, yeah. Apahiga, how long should it take to have the introduction of Wally West in the DC universe? Well, we've seen him in the Arrowverse, haven't we? Whether or not he's introduced into the DCEU, well, I think that would be a second Flash movie for me. But who knows what they're going to do in this Flash movie. Interesting times ahead. What if Barry Allen, Ezra Miller, makes the ultimate sacrifice and sacrifices himself out of the timeline, and Wally West is the new Flash for the DCEU? What a twist that would be. Scott Edwards, will Arrowverse be erased by Flashpoint? That's interesting. I don't think so, or maybe some of it will and some of it won't. That's an interesting question. On the face of it, because of what they did in Crisis, I doubt it, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Arrowverse can be utilized very well in a DCEU. I think that could add to what... Because basically, Arrowverse is very similar to the MCU with the tone of it. And the DCEU could use the tone with that. I think it would please some people. But there's some stuff in Arrowverse that they're never going to touch. Abahika, right away he dies, you mean, but it's his first movie. What I'm saying is, Ahmed, right? Ezra Miller sacrifices himself, right? And Wally West becomes the main Flash of that franchise. Why not? It would be a great twist. John, Netflix is doing a live-action Masters of the Universe movie. Yeah, well, after what they did with the animated series, I don't know. I hope it's good. But I'm not holding much hope. Android 118 XX, because DCEU has failed. DC Comics have had offices getting closed now. It's come to the point where they are now renting offices. WB did a lot of damage to DCEU. Now, even the comics got affected. No, Android, I don't think that's the truth. I don't know. The live-action movies haven't affected the comic book sales. Sometimes things get closed up. Some offices get closed. I mean, I think people are getting carried away about a couple of offices being closed. But that's the internet, isn't it? If it is a problem, Discovery will look at that and they'll want to utilize the comics as much as they can. But unfortunately, my friend, comics is not a popular medium. The comics are not as popular as the films. And this is the sad state of the comic book industry. And it's nobody's fault. And it's nothing to do with the DCEU. Scott Edwards, how would you integrate Arrowverse characters into films? Well, because as I have explained, after Flashpoint, all the Earths in the multiverse will become one entire world, which makes things kind of chaotic, which is interesting within the narrative. There's ways where they can cameo because they're going to be on the same Earth as the other characters. So anyone can cross over with anyone. So you can literally do anything. Hisham Kishi, it would be cool if they introduced Jay Garrick in The Flash, yeah. But don't you think he kind of looks like Peacemaker with the helmet? Not really, no. Hard to see. DC Multiverse is complex, but not that complex. Burnverse is going to combine with some other shows or Doom Patrol and Prime Earth. Earth 2 is Matt Reeves' Snyderverse is HBO Max on different Earth. Ahmed Hicko, but we have to know Barry first and to give the time for him to become mature because as you can see in JR's, he's inexperienced. I know that. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think it would be a good twist. I'd do it personally. There are some people who don't actually like Ezra Miller as Flash, so this could solve a few issues. Hardeep Singh, multiverse is just the easy way to tell different stories with movie with no effect on the continuity. Exactly. And it's exciting. And they're trying to fix this franchise that's been problematic. So fingers crossed they pull it off. It's going to be interesting. It's a tall ask. Right, guys, 5 more minutes before I sign off for the evening. It's been a great live. It is what? 9:45 at night here. Scott Edwards, I think they will announce a huge crisis level movie after the Flash movie with DCU and Arrowverse characters. Yes, there's something huge and ambitious going on, Scott. Jim Lee was doing some kind of portrait of fandom as well. Something is happening. John, I would love to see the Doom Patrol come face to face with the Justice. So would I. Be fucking hilarious. They deserve to be in movies. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. It would be, there's so much potential, isn't there? Hisham Kishi, it would be cool if Barry runs back in time to see the Thomas Wayne version of Batman. Then he snaps Barry's neck. Then the movie ends and credits roll up. Super fast. No. That might be going a little too far, Hisham. Smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Check out my poll. We've got another 5 minutes of the show left. When we get to 1:30, that's when I'll be wrapping up the show. Ahmed Hikay. Andy should bring his A game. The Flash movie will heavily affect his future. True. Henrik, who the villain in the Aquaman movie? What is it about? We don't know yet. Hisham Kishi, lol, just kidding. There are too many Flash fans. Ahmed Hikko as a director. Yes, it's true. It's a big movie for him and it can send him down a really great way in his career or a bad way. That is the gamble of being a movie director that makes these huge superhero movies. No risk, no reward, my friend. Oh my God, I'm so tired. So we'll be back live tomorrow morning for the DCEU Daily Live. I hope to do a few pre-recorded videos again. And I'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Got about 5 minutes left. So don't waste these 5 minutes. John, are we going to get a new Supergirl movie? I would think it's in the cards, yeah. The problem is right now, John, with the merger coming so quickly, plans will change as well. As you've noticed, there's not many films in the slate for next year. There's a reason for that, because they don't know what Discovery are going to change from their plans. So this is the thing that's going on now. We've literally got 2 movies in cinemas next year, Blue Beetle and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. That's it. It looks like Discovery have said, don't greenlight anything else. We were talking about the Superman projects that have vanished. Hisham Kissy, did you watch the video, what Tim Burton directed back? If Tim Burton, I haven't seen it yet, but I keep on forgetting to see it. It does sound interesting. Henry, John, what about the Black Superman movie? Poor Henry Cavill, he's the perfect Superman and they don't do shit. Grr. Well, Henrik, I'm still hopeful that something will happen, and we haven't heard anything about the Superman of Color movie. I made a video about it today that I think is a bit suspicious that we haven't had any updates for the Val Zod HBO Max show or the Superman of Color produced by J.J. Abrams and written by Ta-Nehisi Coates. It's vanished. But I think Henry Cavill will return one way or the other. No question. He has to. Because if he doesn't, people won't be happy. And this reboot they're doing isn't going to work. Henry Cavill is non-negotiable. He has to be involved in the future, or people are not going to be embraced in this franchise. It's quite simple. They know it. They do look at social media. They know what people say. There's no escaping it. Just over 2 minutes to go, everyone. Just so you're aware. But I certainly understand people's frustration with Henry being cast aside since 2017. It's not good, because he is a great Superman. And there's no questioning that. Even if you don't like the Snyderverse, Henry's been a great Superman. Even if you don't like the Snyderverse, Ben Affleck's been a great Batman, Bruce Wayne. No question about that either. If you haven't smashed a like on the video, please do before I end the video, please. Hisham Kissy, what do you think of Zer and R Batman costume? Do you think it would work in a live-action movie? Unfortunately, Hisham Kissy, I don't know the design of that Batman suit. Henry, why does Grace Randolph hate Henry Cavill? Well, only Grace Randolph knows why she's lying about him being a diva. I mean, Grace Randolph hates the other actress as well. I don't know. Only Grace can answer these mysteries for you. Android 118 XX, I left a link to the article about the DC comic office closing. Thank you. I have read some articles about it. I just don't think it's that worrying. The whole of DC isn't going to shut down because of an office shutdown. So, but basically, you could literally run DC Comics from on one or two computers anyway. So they're probably just thinking that to themselves. We don't need these offices anymore with the technology we have. So again, people are making more of these things than they are. But also, you have to understand, they don't sell as many comics as they want to. It is a problematic industry. Just because the films are doing well, it doesn't mean the comics are doing well. And you can't blame the studio for that either. John, at least Henry Cavill has still got the Witcher TV series. Yes, and he could be the next James Bond as well. So let's see. He's got a lot. Henry Cavill's doing a lot. He's doing Enola Holmes. He's the next Highlander. He's doing very, very well. It's not Superman that it's not Henry Cavill who needs Superman. It's Superman that needs Henry Cavill. This has been Movies TV Mad Live. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. I will be back tomorrow. Let's see the final results of the poll. Do you want to see the League of Shadows in the Batman sequel? Yes, 60. No, 40%. 25 votes. So yes wins that one. Thank you for taking part in the poll. Thank you for liking the video. If you like the video, it helps very, very much on the algorithm. And thank you for that. Android 118XX, they were saying there were huge plans for the DC Comics due DC having their first DCEU. What are you talking about? That doesn't actually make sense, Android 118XX. When did they say that? Or are you just taking what a journalist said? A live-action universe doesn't have anything to do with the business of a comic book company. John, see you tomorrow, Mick. See you later, John. The facts are these, that comics are not as popular as they once was, and you don't need these huge offices to run them. So there's no disaster here. Android 118XX, you get what I'm saying in the link above. As I say, I'll read the link above, but I don't think there's a big disaster here. I think people, especially the fandom menace, are making more of this than it is. But there is absolutely nothing to worry about. I could literally sit here on my laptop and run DC Comics. You can literally do artwork and anything. They don't need those offices anymore. That's the truth of the matter. The live action movies and TV shows have nothing to do with the comics. They have nothing to do. The franchise's problems, the live action franchise's problems, have nothing to do with the comics. And that's just ridiculous reasoning. And that's my opinion. And you're entitled to yours. Henrik, John Mickey, see you tomorrow, baby. See you later, Henrik. Thank you for taking part. So I will see you tomorrow in the DCEU Daily Live. There'll be articles, hopefully. There'll be some updates, hopefully. If there's anything going on, we'll talk more to Batman. There'll be more pre-recorded videos. This is the place to be for your DC and entertainment chat. Until then, I see you tomorrow. My throat is so dry over 90 minutes of continuous talking, but I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for taking part, and I will see you again tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. And remember, opinions are like a-holes. Everybody's got one. See you later. Dirty Harry said that, aka Clint Eastwood. Yeah, I think it's a great line anyway. See you tomorrow.